Oh, hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media Channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. And guys, look, I'm excited. I am excited to talk about the never-ending story coming to 4K from Imprint Films and diving into everything that is involved in this incredible box set. So I was going to talk about the Arrow Video November announcements today, but I'm like, you know what? There's some good stuff there, but I didn't feel like it was enough to do a video on. It was definitely enough to do a video on, but I didn't feel like there were any titles that like really popped, that really stood out. Just some really solid titles that I will talk about on the physical media report, but not going to do a video on the Arrow video announcements. But I was like, you know what? This Imprint never ending story release, like there's so much that goes into this. This deserves its own announcement video. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're not even going to really dive into the other Imprint announcements because they announced 4Ks this week that are coming out in November. We'll talk about all that extra stuff on the physical media report. I want to focus on this box set here that's coming out from Imprint Films in November. Never Ending Story, guys, from 1984. The 40th anniversary of Never Ending Story, by the way. Let me make this a little bit bigger, guys, because that's way too small, right? Guys, look, Never Ending Story. This is very difficult for me. This is going to be a very difficult purchasing decision because this release comes with a caveat. Okay, it's very outrageously priced. We'll get into that here in a second. I'm not going to beat around the bush. We're gonna get right into it. It's a very pricey set. It's a very pricey set. I love this movie so much. I've been watching this film since I was a kid. It means so much to me. I love the second one too. I know a lot of people don't like the second one as much, but I was a big fan of Jonathan Brandis, and I used to watch the second one as much as I watched the first one when I was a kid. I would love, a big box set of both of them. Like if this would have included both of those films, it would have been an easy sell. Easy sell. Both of those movies on 4K, nice box set, easy sell for me. I would have got that no problem. But the fact that it is the first movie and the amount that they're asking for this makes me take a little bit of a pause. But first off, guys, let's just dive into the details first, and then I'll get on the Imprint website and talk about the pricing and all that stuff. So if you don't know, guys, Imprint is an Australian boutique label. So if you're in the States, if you're in the UK, if you're in anywhere else wanting to order this, you're going to have to pay about $30 in imprint costs. So that's a part, or import costs, not imprint costs. I guess imprint costs as well. An import cost to get this over wherever you're at if you're not in Australia. Now, if you're in Australia, I'm sure the shipping costs are a lot lower to get this set. So you're going to have to pay the cost to import this as well. I don't know if this is going to be available on Diabolic or Orbitz or any other place like that. I'm assuming it probably will because they usually have the stuff like Suspiria, like the Suspiria box set that was just announced, the Blair Witch Project. So they get imprint stuff usually, but I don't know if they're going to have this because this is a big, massive box set. This is different than the other stuff that they do. And they made a point to spell that out for you when they talk about the details. So, but again, guys, we're going to get into all that stuff. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button. I like to be your source for all of the late breaking physical media news and announcements over here on this channel, guys. I like to break it when it happens. So this is big news, guys. This is big physical media news. But going back to Neverending Story, like it's such an important movie to me, and it has such a unique like feel to it. I don't know, when I watch this movie, like no other movie like makes me feel the same way that this one does when I watch it. Very hard to describe. Such a fun, creative kids adventure movie that also goes to some extremely dark places in it as well. They don't make kids movies like the Neverending Story anymore. They couldn't. Kids would have nightmares nowadays. They're too coddled, you know. They're not like we were back in the day. You know, I'm 38 years old. I grew up in the golden era of kids movies of the 80s and the 90s, and it's like we watch this dark, twisted stuff all the time in our kids movies, and we're perfectly fine, right? Probably not. If we're out there contemplating whether or not we want to spend this kind of money on a 4K box set, it's probably because we're not okay. Okay, you know. Anyway, guys, I don't know where I'm going with this. Let's talk about this box set. So I'm on Instagram right now. I'm going to flip through a couple of these images. So first off, this is it right there, guys. 40th anniversary. You have the exclusive replica storybook packaging right there with the Orin. Is that what they called it? The Orin that's on the cover right there. That is just a sick, sick ass box set. Just look how tall that is. Compare that to the cases right there. So you have what looks to be a 4K case, and then you have you have the 4K case and what looks to be a regular imprint case. So that's like a regular imprint box set. So it looks like the 4K case is going inside the regular imprint box set, and that is going inside the big book box set that's going to house all of the lobby cards, and looks like we have the Neverending Story, some kind of like file thing down there. Maybe it's the script, and you got a poster. It looks like you have a freaking original poster right there as well. It looks amazing, guys. It looks this is something that, again, I am struggling so hard with this. We're going to get into the price in a second, but I'm struggling so hard. I don't need to spend this kind of money on this release, but I love it so much. I think it's so amazing, and I just love the movie so much. But anyway, let's flip through and special features and technical specs. All right. So this thing, I believe, is 5 discs. I do want to lay that out there for you guys. This is a 5-disc set. This is the Ultimate Neverending Story Collection. We have a disc 1, original US theatrical cut on 4K UHD, new Dolby Vision presentation of the 94-minute theatrical cut on 4K UHD, restored from the original 35mm negative by Imprint Films. Now, I do want to point out that I believe there was a German 4K of the Neverending Story that came out a couple of years ago. And everybody that's seen that 4K that I've heard about says that the 4K is amazing. So I don't know if this is going to be the same transfer or restoration that's already been done, or if this is a new one or not. I'm not even sure if they state that or not, but I've heard that this looks amazing on 4K. And this is a movie that I can absolutely see looking phenomenal on 4K. Absolutely phenomenal on 4K. So you do have an audio commentary by writer-director Wolfgang Petersen, which I'm assuming is an older commentary. New audio commentary by future noir author Paul M. Salmon. You also have original aspect ratio 2:35:1. You have audio English DTS HD 5.1 surround. And there you go. That's on disc 1, original US theatrical cut on 4K UHD. Then on disc 2, you have the original US theatrical cut on Blu-ray. You have the 1080p high definition presentation on Blu-ray of the 4K restoration of the 94-minute theatrical cut, audio commentary with Wolfgang Petersen. You also have a new audio commentary by future. I've already read that. Damn it. New Finding Fantasia adapting the Neverending Story. Featurette on the book adaptation with producer director Lisa Downs. Okay, I think I've heard about her documentary. So this is some kind of a new documentary. I think I think she released that on YouTube or something, maybe. I don't know if that's the full documentary, if this is something else, but I'm assuming that's the documentary because I do recognize that director's name. I think she's working on other documentaries as well as we speak. Maybe for the Goonies. I think that's where I've heard her name before. But you have a featurette on the book adaptation with producer-director Lisa Downs. You also have new No Boundaries, Imagineering the Neverending Story, featurette on the special effects. You have new Flights of Fantasy inside the scores of Neverending Story, featurette with film music historian Daniel Schweger on the score. Reimagining Neverending Story featurette, the Making of Neverending Story featurette in German with optional subtitles. Oh my goodness. That's a making of in German with optional subtitles. So what I'm assuming this is the stuff that came out in the German release that they're just putting on this release. So that's probably why it's in German, because they couldn't translate it or anything like that. So it's good that they have subtitles though, so we can understand it. But these special features seem to be in German. So yeah, this thing it's already stacked, guys. It's already stacked, and we're only on disc 2. You got 3 new features, 1 new audio commentary, storyboard comparisons. Disc 3, you have the German extended cuts on 4K UHD. So do you only get the extended cut in German? That's kind of strange. Is that a thing? I mean, I didn't know, guys. I watched the Neverending Story on TV and VHS tape. I didn't know there was a German cut of the Neverending Story when I was a kid. There's a German extended cut on 4K UHD. So I mean, that's cool, but it does kind of suck that it's in German. Unless you're German, then it doesn't suck. Then it's probably pretty cool. You on disc 4, you have the German extended cut on Blu-ray. So you got two Blu-rays, and you got a 4K and you got a Blu-ray that are both in German, guys. So that is something that's important to note. Disc 5, Life After Neverending Story, 2024 feature-length documentary on Blu-ray. So I think that's the documentary that is directed by Lisa Downs. So I think that's her documentary, and she must have done another featurette for this release. Now that's over 70 minutes of deleted and extended scenes. And you have Once Upon a Time and Treviso featurette. So I'm assuming all that stuff is on this disc. So you have the Life After Neverending Story, then you have the 70 minutes of deleted and extended scenes, and you have the Once Upon a Time and Treviso featurette. Original trailer, original aspect ratio, all that stuff, guys. So, I mean, this thing's stacked. I will say, though, two of these discs I'll probably never watch. I don't know. Maybe I'll check out just to check out the extended cut. As long as they've got the English subtitles, I guess it would be worth it to maybe check it out and see the differences between that and the theatrical cut. But it does kind of suck that it's in German. I don't really know what that's about. You would think that it's an English film, right? So they would be able to put out an English extended edition of some kind. That's just kind of weird. If somebody can provide some insight and explain it to me in the comment section, I would definitely appreciate it. But I think that's pretty much it, guys. And I guess I can go over the other stuff that was announced. Imprint announced 4K titles this week. You've got Convoy, you got A Bridge Too Far, you got Priscilla, all on 4K, and then you got Neverending Story, which was announced today. Now let's jump on the Imprint website right here. So let's go back up to the top so we can get another look at this set over there in the corner. You guys can see that. I'll pull up a bigger image of the book, so it looks like it has the Imprint symbol on the side. So that's pretty cool. Show you a closer up image of the actual case that's going to be inside. Good old Falcor. And then you just got some images from the movie itself. But yeah, this is such a great movie, guys. Such a great movie. And it has a release date of November the 27th, 2024. This movie's rated G, guys. Rated G. These are the kind of movies we watched when we were kids. G-rated movies. This is a G-rated movie. There are some frightening images in this film. The werewolves, the wolves, like always freaked me out when I was a kid watching this movie. But the big scene, guys, is of course, I don't want to spoil it, but I'll just say the horse. Atreyu. So, all right, guys, look, we're going to continue to go through this. We got our strictly limited edition replica storybook packaging is crafted with high quality leatherette, adorned with iconic Auron emblem. I can't even pronounce it again. Auron emblem. I thought it was is it the Auron? I think that's how it's pronounced. Auron. People are going to be, you call yourself a Neverending Story fan? You don't know how to pronounce the Auron? The Auron, Ken? You don't know how to pronounce the Auron? Anyway, the emblem, die-cast metallic ornamentation, red and white ribbons, gold foiled stamping, and embossed detailing exactly as seen in the film. It is magnetically sealed to ensure it stays closed. So, I mean, guys, this sounds badass. This sounds freaking badass. This is a heavy collector's item measuring 29.5 times 37 centimeters, weighing in at 2.5 kilograms, and comes replete or complete with comprehensive physical extras, an A4 reproduction of the original 1984 press kit, a full color matted laminated 27 by 40 folded prints of the original poster. So that seems pretty damn legit, guys. The poster, like this isn't just a Screen Factory poster that's going to come rolled in a tube or something. Like it seems like it's a pretty legit poster for this. And then they kind of dive into the other features and stuff. So this thing's got the new documentary. It's got 3 new featurettes. It's got a new audio commentary. It's got some archival stuff. It's got the extended cut in German on 4K and Blu-ray. It's got the theatrical cut on 4K and Blu-ray. There's a lot of stuff here, guys. There is a lot of stuff here in this set. But let's get into this. Is it worth $168.97? Is it worth that to get the Neverending Story on 4K from Imprint? Now, what I will say, guys, is that look, this is getting an announcement from Imprint. There is a 4K restoration that's out there. Okay. Who else has this at this time? Like, we've seen this happen before. We're seeing it right now with the Blair Witch Project, right? Imprint announced a box set, then Second Sight announced a box set. Then in the US, they're supposed to have a box set. So we've seen this kind of stuff happen before. Is there going to be a box set of the Neverending Story coming out from Second Sight Films? I don't know. Who's to say at this point? Will they do one in the States? I'm pretty sure that last I checked, I think Warner Brothers has the Neverending Story. Let me look that up really quick. But guys, I mean, $168. I don't get in the habit of spending that kind of money for for one movie on physical media, but I'm trying to rationalize it. I'm like, Ken, there's a Vinegar Syndrome sale going on this weekend. You pick up all kinds of stuff from Vinegar Syndrome. You pick up all kinds of stuff in general that you don't even watch, right? I plan to watch it at some point. I plan to watch everything at some point. Whether I do or I don't, I don't know. But I plan to watch everything at some point. Anyway, I buy all that kind of stuff. Why don't I take a couple of months off of buying from Vinegar Syndrome, and then get something that I actually love with everything in me and really want to see on 4K. But also, like, if I purchase this and then Second Sight announces something, I guess I could always cancel. See, I'm trying to rationalize buying this because it's $168.97, right? $30 shipping. If you want international shipping, $30. That is $200 to get this set. The most I have spent on a single release is that Exorcist Bible edition from the UK, and that was $100, and that was a lot. I just don't know if I'll feel good about it getting this for $200. Is it going to be worth $200? Like, I mean, come on, a nice like prop booklet of the book from the movie, like that's cool. The poster's cool. There's a lot of cool additions in here that other big box set releases don't have. But I don't know, guys. What do you all think about this? Is anybody going to be purchasing this? But the Neverending Story, I was going to look up what studio put this out. For some reason, I'm thinking it's Warner Brothers, but it might not be. It might not be. It might be Orion. And then in that case, I don't know who has the rights at this point. No, it says distributed by Warner Brothers. So, I mean, if Warner Brothers puts it out, they might do a cool UK edition, but they're not going to do a great edition in the States for the Neverending Story. They might do a steelbook, or something like that. So, but I mean, that's the question, guys. It's always a gamble. If I pay $200 for this, is Second Sight going to announce one later on down the line? Who knows? But I mean, this is probably like the best that this movie's going to get on physical media. Like, this is a really, really nice looking box set. Really nice. I'm conflicted, guys. I am torn. Let me know what you guys think, though, in the comments section below. I'm done talking about the Neverending Story on 4K. We talked for a while about the Neverending Story. I went in all kinds of different directions. But, guys, I just like coming on here and talking about this stuff with you guys. I apologize. I'm all over the place, I know. But I love you guys. Have a great weekend. Have a great Labor Day weekend. Use some of that money you made from all the labor and maybe get a $200 box set from Imprint Films. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you.